Good evening, sir. There are spotters given for me. It's on this the first spotter which is showing there is a zero cleft. According to Tessier's classification, it's a zero cleft in the involving the nose and upper lip. I can see the bifid nose, midline cleft with widened philtrum, and there will be a hypertrophy of the fibrofatty tissue of the tip of the nose. And I can see the seminodes band also in the middle of the skull. And apart from this, I can see one lesion in the right eye that looks like epibulbar dermite. Combination of these, making a diagnosis of golden hair syndrome. Normally, the golden hair syndrome usually it will be associated with 6, 7, 8 left with auriculo.
Balachandra, your voice is breaking. Voice is not clear.
Yes, madam. Now.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. This for this patient, I want to ask a detailed history of the patient regarding the history of the family history, past history, and the family history. Is there any significant family history in the members of other members of the family, or whether this child itself is a first child? If the family members are asking about that, chances of other family members, I have to explain for genetic counseling and all. I want to examine the patient with this thing.
Can you come for the show the first slide?
And I want to.
Yeah. Okay. Now we'll come to the findings and we'll discuss this case. Okay. Since it is spotters, we will not go into the details about the history. Okay. What investigations you will do in this particular case?
In this patient, I want to go routine investigations along with that CT scan, 3D CT of the facial thing to look for any cleft palate and CT head, because it's a zero cleft. Zero cleft usually associated with some anomalies in the brain. So I want to take a CT scan of the head, and to rule out any this one spine abnormalities, I want to take a CT or MRI of the neck.
What is this swelling you think about it? What swelling is this?
That is hypertrophic septum.
Hypertrophic septum. On what thing you look for in a palpation?
I'll feel for any gap in the this one alveolus, upper alveolus.
In that swelling, I'm talking about the swelling.
Swelling. Whether it's a soft or fluctuant, is there any?
If it is soft and fluctuant, yeah, then it is what?
Thinking of connection with the cerebral cavity, the CSF thing.
So it will be an encephalocele, okay?
Encephalocele.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now it is soft and cystic, then what it will be?
Possibility of this one encephalocele will be there.
No, soft and cystic.
Yes, sir. Soft and cystic. It's a communication with the lacrimal ducts.
The midline soft and cystic will be the midline dermoid, na babu.
Midline dermoid, sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Midline dermoid.
The midline, the commonest with the midline cleft is the midline. Always think about the midline dermoid.
Midline dermoid. Yes.
And in these cases, sometimes you will find that the septum is duplicated.
Yes.
You'll find the two septums duplicated, and this entire swelling is like in the sitting in the midline, like a midline dermoid.
Yes.
And then it will be showing the extension into the cribriform area. That might not be a very a big infield because this patient don't have a hypertelorism.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, but he
Yes.
might be have a small track which is going towards the cribriform. So
Yes.
for this, in this scenario, I would prefer to do a MRI scan also
MRIs. Yes.
to see the situation of this swelling, because this swelling is going to come in your way of repair of your lip.
Yes. Sir.
Okay, because part of the
Yes,
swelling
sir.
of the skin will be in your columella. We'll be using it
Yes,
like a
sir.
columella. And the part of the swelling you will be dissecting right up to the root of the nose,
Yes.
dissecting like a open rhinoplasty.
Yes. Sir.
Like a open rhinoplasty, you will be dissecting, going between the two ala, going between the septum, and then removing that entire swelling.
Yes. Sir.
Okay. Again, I am telling you,
Yes.
go on to the short notes in plastic surgery worldpress.com.
Yes. Yes.
In that article, same type of pictures are there, operated by
Yes.
me.
Yes. Sir.
Go through it. So
Yes.
this will be definitely a midline dermoid.
Yes.
Okay. Now you have decided to operate on this patient. How
Yes,
you
sir.
will go about it, what you will see, and what you will achieve in this patient.
This the midline cleft is there, sir. That I want to repair that midline cleft by using
Okay.
either U-shape incision or V-shape incision in 3 layers. And the main thing is I want to reconstruct the orbicularis oris muscle and
Okay.
mucosal
No,
inner
no,
mucosal.
let the first slide be there. Don't change the slide. Okay. What are the landmarks you will mark in this patient?
Filter columns.
Yeah, filtral columns are there.
Yes, sir.
Muscle bulk is very good.
Muscle,
What else you will
muscle
mark? Filtral column you have marked. What else you have marked?
and vermilion. Two sides vermilion points I've marked.
Okay, what else you will mark? Very important. What we mark in the cleft lip patient, Babu?
Yes, sir.
In cleft lip, what you mark? You have marked the filtral column, you have marked the vermilion. What is there in between the two?
C flap. Yes.
You have to mark the white roll.
White roll. Yes.
So white roll, in the white roll, what are the points you will mark?
That dry and wet.
That is in the vermilion. On the white
Vermilion.
roll. What is white roll? White roll is a junction between the skin and the mucosa.
Skin
That
and
roll which is
mucosa.
there, na? That
Yes.
roll which is there. What points you will mark? You want to
Both the
reconstruct the
side of
lip, na? You want to
yes.
reconstruct the lip. What are the points of the lip of
That
the
should
white
not
roll?
be a straight vertical closure, sir. It should be like Z-plasty type of closure.
But that is later on. What points you will mark? This is the point, na? The highest point of the Cupid's bow and the proposed lowest points of the Cupid's bow.
Okay.
So you have to mark the midpoint of the Cupid's bow
Cupid voice, sir.
and highest points of the Cupid's bow.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So where are the, you have a pointer? Where are the highest points of the Cupid's bow? Can you mark on the with the help of a pointer? Can anybody mark for him? Yes, there it is. Okay, that is the highest point. Now the one which on the that is the highest point of the Cupid's bow. Similarly, on the left side, there is one highest point of the Cupid's bow. Okay, those
Yes.
point you mark and then propose lowest point of the Cupid's bow. Where is the proposed lowest point? See where it is getting faded. Yeah, still lateral, lateral, lateral. Yeah, yeah, there it is. Okay. So this point and same point on the opposite side. You
Yes.
mark those points. Okay.
Yes.
Then you are going to utilize some amount of tissue of this for the columella.
Yes.
You are raising it like a columella.
Yes, sir.
Then you are creating that U-shaped incision and you are
Yes.
dissecting the muscle.
Yes, sir.
Then what first stitch you will take after repair of the muscle?
That $1 million stitch, that vermilion stitch.
Okay, vermilion stitch. Okay. Now your cupid's bow is rolled up. You want to create it, na? You want to create it like this, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You want to
Yes.
create it like this. But
Yes.
you have got a vertical shortage.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes,
how
sir.
are you going to correct that vertical shortage?
I'll take columella, base of the columella. I'll extend that incision towards base of the columella.
One incision towards the base of the columella.
Yes, sir.
Both sides?
One side, sir.
One
But
side.
non-clavus. Here
Okay,
I
one
will
side will
go
take.
for left side.
Okay.
This side I will go for left side.
So you see, suppose these are the two lines.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
You want to bring, these are the two lines. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You want to convert this into a cupid's bow like this. Okay.
Yes.
This is like your cupid's bow is like this at
Yes, sir.
present. You want to make it like this. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you want to lengthen the central part of the skin, na?
Yes,
How
sir.
will you lengthen the central part of the skin? You take a cut at the higher level on one side
One side
so that the one side comes down.
comes down.
You take a cut on the lower level of the one side, so that
Yes.
side will come down. So you have got the two triangular defect, one on the right side, one on the left side.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in that you feed in the two triangles.
Yes.
From the upper part, you put in a triangle from the upper part of the skin. For the lower side, you put the triangle on the lower part of the skin.
Lower part.
So this particular paper is there in Indian Journal of Plastic Surgery. The
Yes.
authors are Dr. Nitin Mokal, Dr. Bharti Khandekar, and I think one more person.
Yes.
So midline cleft repair by Dr. Bharti Khandekar and Nitin Mokal et al. Okay, so that is how
Yes,
you
sir.
are creating this cupid's bow, which is the
Yes.
normal cupid's bow with
No.
those two triangular cuts. Okay,
Yes. Yes, sir.
and then you raise this flap as an open rhinoplasty approach, dissect
Yes, sir.
entire cyst, bring the columella together, bring the alar dome together, alar cartilage together, and create a new columella. You have to discard most of the tissue from that hypertrophic area,
Yes.
swelling area. Okay,
Yes, sir.
that is how you
Yes.
can repair the lip.
Yes.
What is the commonest encephalocele occur in the midline cleft?
Proencephalocele.
Huh? In the
Proencephalocele.
midline cleft,
Yes, sir.
midline cleft,
Yes, sir.
which is the commonest encephalocele occurs.
That is a proencephalocele.
Proencephalocele. It is called as a basal encephalocele. The encephalocele comes from the lacrimal area, comes
Yes.
down into the palatal area. Most of the time, this patient also has got the cleft palate,
Yes,
and
sir.
you will find a mass hanging from the top of the pharynx into the oral cavity. An ENT surgeon might take a biopsy
Yes.
thinking that some sort of a
Yes.
swelling is there. But
Yes.
that swelling is a basal encephalocele and patient will develop a CSF leak and develop a meningitis and patient will die. What other clinical features you look for in a basal encephalocele and what the contents of the basal encephalocele?
Development of the brain. Is there any normal development of the brain?
No, 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 no. What are the contents in the basal area?
Yes.
What is there in the center of the brain, base part of the brain? Is the pituitary.
Pituitary.
Pituitary, optic chiasma, everything comes down along with the brain.
Chiasma. Yes, sir.
So all the symptoms related to the pituitary, the release of the ADH hormones, antidiuretic hormones. So these patients will have electrolyte imbalance that you
Yes,
have to look for in a basal encephalocele. Okay. So
yes,
just
sir.
go and read about the basal encephalocele, what are the structures are in the basal encephalocele and what are the clinical features. So these are the patients you should be very, very, very careful. Okay,
Yes, sir.
you should rule out
Yes.
the basal encephalocele. Okay, what is the next patient?
This is a case of number 7 cleft or transverse cleft, sir.
What is the Bangalore classification?
Bangalore classification 0, 5. One is this 8, number 8 cleft.
Very good. Have you read it or you just looked it?
No, just I'm
Googled it.
following your discussion, sir.
Okay, okay. This comes as number 8. Okay, the
8.
cleft starts
Yes.
from number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So this comes as a number 8 of Bangalore classification and number
Yes.
7 of the Tessier classification.
Yes, classification.
Okay. So what are the other deformities you see in this patient?
This patient, there's anterior open bite is there, sir, and you can see the show of molar, upper molar teeth, and there is a low hairline, that is the sideburns at the lower level. There will be less prominent antegonial notch and mandibular hypoplasia.
Very good. Very good. So how will you go about this patient? How will you investigate? What surgery you will do first? And what
For
post-operatively?
going for this thing, I want to subject the patient for an
Examination.
ENT examination, sir. ENT
Okay.
examination to rule out any auricular deformities. Usually these 6, 7, 8 clefts are associated with ear deformities. Then other systemic examination to rule out any cardiac malformation or any spine malformation. I rule out with the examination of those things. Then I will subject the patient to investigations, routine investigations for fitness of surgery. And I want to take a OPG in the first thing to look for mandible morphology. And again, CT facial bones with 3D reconstruction to look for complete mandible appearance of the mandible, hypoplastic, how hypoplastic is the mandible, I want to for this thing. And there is a, I want to ask on endoscopy, nasal endoscopy to look for is there any airway compromise with this hypoplastic mandible. And if there is a patient gives any history of apnea and all, I will go for sleep studies and cephalograms are the investigations I will work in this patient.
Okay. Okay. Rest all studies are normal. Now you want to operate on this patient. How will you go about it?
This patient is having two main problems. One is macrostomia, and other this thing is mandibular hypoplasia. Macrostomia, apart from that, if there is associated cleft palate is there, I'll try to operate the cleft palate first. Then I'll go for this macrostomia. If no cleft palate, I'll directly go for macrostomia, and then I'll go for mandibular corrections.
Okay, but he don't have a cleft. She don't have a cleft. Now you want to go for operation for the microstomia. How will you proceed?
Macrostomia, I will go for commissuroplasty. Commissuroplasty, that the normal commissures will be at the level of the line dropping from the medial limbus to the oral cavity.
That is
So
about
that
the
I will mark
marking.
the preoperative period.
What type of anesthesia?
This I will do under nasal intubation.
Yes, that should be your first answer. Sir, I would like to do this case with the under nasal intubation. Why under nasal intubation?
I want to keep the symmetry on both the sides. I want to see that.
Okay. Okay. And then patient is intubated. Then
after marking that this one, I will go for a 5 mm over correction, because over a period of time it will go for this one. And the repair is in 3 layers repair, either with straight line repair by Kaplan's method type of thing, or by using a Z-plasty. The 3 layers, I will raise the mucosal flap, I'll separate the orbicularis oris, and I will do that repair of the orbicularis oris by overlapping and creating a new.
Very good.
And then closing the skin with Z-plasty.
Okay. Why Z-plasty?
Z-plasty gives a better scar, and the post-op scar, this one is less.
In this region.
It allows this thing, opening of the mouth and all will not be restricted later also.
No. The Z-plasty in this region.
The lines should follow the nasolabial fold, sir.
Yes, one of the limbs will
One
fall
of the lines should fall on the nasolabial fold.
nasolabial fold. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now you have done your angular cleft repair, soft tissue is done well. What is your next step?
Next, I'll go for mandibular reconstruction.
Directly. You refer the patient to the orthodontist. No, her jaw, see, all his teeth are haywire.
Yes, sir. Involvement. Yes, sir.
So let her go to the orthodontist. Let him align all the teeth together, and then let him decide, or let the patient decide whether she require a jaw surgery or not.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So patient has to be treated properly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the orthodontist management to realign her arches,
Yes,
see
sir.
how she is growing. Okay, now she is small. I don't think she is 18. How many years of age she is?
By look wise, she is around 12 to 14 years. Sir.
So she has to complete her growth completely. Then you can think about the jaw surgeries.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other surgery after you've done a jaw alignment, all things is required, settled well. Any other things she will require?
Ortho.
You've done a jaw surgery, you aligned the foundation, you've done everything. Now there is still some amount of lacunae there in her appearance. Go in for a fill fat graft.
Yes.
See your angular cleft, which is extending till the ear.
Yes, sir.
You are not going to repair that area, na? You will be repairing only the angle of the mouth.
Angle of the
But
mouth.
but the soft tissue deficit is still there.
I'll go for
Fat grafting. Okay. Considering her profile, what surgery she will require? Bony surgery she will require.
This one, the distraction osteogenesis she requires, sir.
Why? She has got a fairly good arches.
No, sir. That alignment is not there, sir. Occlusion is not maintained. Open bite is there, and height of the ramus is less. So you have to reconstruct this thing, increase the height of the ramus, and
you have the OPG of this patient, no, na?
No, sir.
Okay. What type of distractor you will use in her case if you want to distract the
either external distractor or internal distractor, sir. Both will have advantages and disadvantages, and go for external distractors. Okay.
So you know all the concept of the distraction.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other case?
That's all.
We through with the session now. All the cases are over.
Over, sir.